got me thinking I was messed up, yeah. I've been worrying about my mental health, 'cause when I'm alone, I keep checking my phone, yeah. Seeing all these people, having someone to lean on, while I don't. Girl, you got me thinking I was messed up, pushing me down instead of pulling me up. So tell me what I'm supposed to do just to be alright. Girl, you got me thinking I was messed up, yeah.
Des. Okay. What's good, Wally? All right. Okay. All right. Okay, so it's gonna be a short one. Okay, so yeah, I've been having some technical difficulties. I don't know why all of a sudden, but you know, it is what it is. Salute to Wally, what's going on? I'm just gonna go ahead and go on with what I'm trying to do tonight, and I'll just deal with all of this later. Fire STFU, what's going on? Interesting name. All right, so let me just go ahead and get into it. Right here. Let me just go ahead and get into this. So no, there we go. All right. So this is from a website called Stream Hatchet, and Stream Hatchet does a yearly report. Man, I'm trying to get like you among this setup. Yeah, you don't want to struggle like me. I tell you that much. But anyway, so Stream Hatchet is this website that does these reports. They cover a lot of streaming and stuff when it comes to live streaming. So they have like this quarterly, like this annual report that they do. They have this annual report that they do, and it covers everything in the big streaming sites. And the big streaming sites are Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Facebook Live, to be exact. So I'm going to go over this report with you, and we're going to point some things out. It's going to be very informational, depending, you know, if you're a content creator, if you're a streamer, if you stream gaming content, it'll be beneficial to you nonetheless. All right. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Video game streaming trends report 2021 yearly report. And let's see if I can just close this. Okay. So let's see. So pretty much the executive summary is the growth rate achieved across the leading. I see audio is choppy on early. No, I was having a lot of audio issues. That's why. I was just having some audio issues. That's why I was having audio issues. But thank you for coming back. Executive summary: the growth rate achieved across the leading Western streaming platforms demonstrates that esports and video game streaming are not lockdown fads. In 2021, video game streaming has become a central component in global pop culture, and that's very much true. Video game streaming watch time grew 21% year over year, while not as significant as 81% growth rate in 2020. See, in 2020, we saw like the biggest boom in live streaming, the biggest growth in live streaming we've ever seen due to the lockdown, right? So 2020 was the year to stream, right? To do anything going live, okay? A lot of people that have sizable channels now, they have partnerships and sponsorships, things like that. They started their streaming career in 2020. Video game streaming has evolved past console and PC-based experiences. So I'm going to break this down from the non-gaming perspective, because a lot of this stuff strictly covers like the experience in gaming. And my job tonight is to, what's going on, K's Business Podcast? My job tonight is to conceptualize this information in a way that it can pertain as it pertains to people who don't game stream, who don't stream video games. Not everyone streams video games. I know that for a fact, right? So not everyone streams video games. So everything when people are talking about streaming and they start mentioning video games, that's not going to work for everybody, and I know that. I know that for a fact. Just give me 1 second, y'all. I want to try to let me try to see if I can change this. Okay, I think. Nah, that's not gonna work. Okay. I got the absolute most going on today. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay, you better be able to cook today. I see the thumbnail. Okay. Anyway, so let's get into the report. So let's take a look at the market insights. As you can see here, in Q1 2018 to Q4 2021, the yearly total for 2021 was 34.6, and 2020 is 28.7 billion hours of watch time. Live game streaming watch time increased by 21% year over year, right? So year over year, live streaming is growing exponentially. Live gaming streaming is growing exponentially, right? Content consumption habits for video game streamers are sizable. In 2021, streaming fans watched an average of 653 million hours of live streams each week. 2021 saw consistently higher hours watched, despite a small dip of 2% in Q4 at the end of 2021, primarily driven by delayed game launches and major events changes driven by COVID-19 variants. Okay, so there are some existential reasons as to why the situation changes when it comes to game streaming, right? And that, again, that can apply to regular streaming. That applies to regular streaming as well. Now, let's take a look at the leading Western platforms and compare them in watch time. So obviously, Twitch is going to always lead the pack. It is primarily a streaming platform. So anytime, we're talking about streaming, Twitch is going to lead the pack 10 out of 10 times, hands down, right? That's just a fact. But the growth is still there between YouTube gaming and Facebook gaming, Facebook Live. So while Twitch and Facebook have grown considerably over year over year, YouTube was the only major Western platform to experience a decrease in live streaming watch time Q2 to Q4. The competition between YouTube and Facebook has grown even closer this year. While YouTube led Facebook in the first half of the year 2.7 to 2.2, Facebook's strong Q3 gains helped it pull ahead of YouTube in Q4 2.3 to 2.5. Like I said, I think I said this in 2021 and 2020. Facebook is a growing platform for people to live stream on, especially when it comes to gaming. I wonder what Kay's talking about. So it's a growing platform. It's a growing way to live stream. So keep your eyes on Facebook Live. It's not a sleeper. It's not like Mixer. So now here are the top 10 peak moments of 2021. So and I gotta change this thumbnail. Okay. All right. We just discombobulated tonight. Let's see. Okay. So let's get back into it. So the top 10 peak moments of 2021. So now, just to summarize this, these are all the top moments on live streaming, right? So the part of this report is that live streaming is home on these different platforms to some of the biggest moments in gaming, right? The biggest moments in gaming are happening during these live streams. All right, so the Greg FG was one that I was surprised by. So the Greg FG set an all-time record in video game streaming, reaching a peak of 2.47 million concurrent viewers on January 11th around the reveal of his custom Fortnite skin. So this guy's a big gamer, and he revealed his custom skin for himself that's in Fortnite. That live stream went so parabolic that it set a Guinness World Record for most concurrent viewers during a live stream. There was 2 million people, over 2 million people watching this one guy live just talk. And he wasn't even an American creator. I think he's a Brazil or Portuguese content creator. Insane. Now, again, a lot of this is a lot of these moments. See, now here's the one thing to take away. A lot of these impactful moments are happening still on YouTube, right? Now you have Twitch and you have Facebook gaming, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these impactful moments were on YouTube, right? So that's something to take away. Like, if you're wondering, like, should you simply just leave YouTube for live streaming? No, because what Twitch is offering doesn't work for everybody, okay? And what YouTube is offering doesn't work for everybody. So you got to take that into consideration. So now, again, we see Twitch with the growth of hours watched from 6.3 in Q1. Kind of took a dip. Twitch continues to grow at impressive rates each year. The market leader in live streaming increases total hours watched by 31.4% year over year and added approximately 6 billion hours watched in 2021. While most of Twitch growth was experiencing 2021 due primarily to global lockdowns, blah, 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 the Twitch platform has continued to develop massive audiences outside of gaming. All non-gaming categories, just chatting, Twitch, the hot tub stuff, accounted for 12% of the total Twitch hours watched and grew 64% since 2020. So that's where everybody else comes in, right? That's where what's going on, Handling Jones, what's up? Okay. That's where the aspect of, all right, now I'm not a gamer. How does this apply to me? Well, Twitch grew in non-gaming categories by 64% since 2020. And a notable 12% increase of watch time hours again. So there's people that's there on Twitch that don't mind watching people who are simply not gaming, right? And that's where you see, okay, that's an opportunity for me, right? That's an opportunity for me to spread my branding to another website, to another platform, to gain more views, to gain more followership. Right now, let's take a look at YouTube. While game live stream hours watched decreased in 2021, YouTube has cemented itself as the go-to platform for video on demand VOD content. YouTube self-reported 800 billion gaming-related video viewers. The YouTube partnership team has been hard at work. So the YouTube partnership team this year and the year prior have been acquiring Twitch streamers exclusively from Twitch to have them stream on Twitch. Most notably was Valkyrie, Dr. Lupo, Tim the Tapman. These are all gamers. You probably don't know them. I don't really know them like that either. But I know that they're big streamers. They were big streamers on Twitch, and now they're streaming on YouTube. Signing multi-million-dollar contracts is that, okay? So again, just looking at that aspect of YouTube is paying millions of dollars to simply leave Twitch and come stream on their platform YouTube. So millions of dollars are being made when it comes to live streaming. If you forget anything, and if you get bored and leave and you don't care, just know that millions of dollars are being made and shared and given to creators to exclusively stream on platforms based on their viewership and based on their following. Okay, so these two people alone, Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tatman, generated a collective 19 million hours watched since their partnership in 2021. So that's less than a year. They generated 19 million hours of watch time. So if you're wondering what that amount of watch time can bring to YouTube, or how that would even benefit you as a creator if you were even able to generate that amount of watch time for your channel, that goes into your business, that goes into growing your brand. These are powerful numbers when it comes to live streaming. Always glad to see you spreading that knowledge. Appreciate you. We got Jason C in the building. What's going on? How you doing? I appreciate that, sir. Japanese gaming creators led live gaming last year with 17% of the platform. Shout out to Japan. If my sound effects are working. Nope. Sound effects aren't working. Anyway. We gonna get through it, man. We're gonna get through it. We're struggling with the audio, but we're gonna figure it out. Facebook's rebrand to Meta. So pretty much to summarize Facebook's gaming growth was led by international creators streaming mobile game titles. All of the top 5 streamers were broadcasters outside of the United States. YouTube Live Gaming, Facebook Gaming surpassed YouTube Live Gaming as the most watched video game live streaming platform and tied YouTube Gaming in Q4. In 2022, we will see the thinnest margins in hours watched between two of the world's largest video game streaming platforms, i.e., Facebook Gaming is becoming a heavy hitter. And YouTube has its work cut out for it. And YouTube is struggling with that. And YouTube actually needs proper leadership to widen that gap. All right. Now, the most popular platform from streamers by country, simply put, Twitch is dominated on the North American continent and South American continent and the Western Hemisphere at that, right? So, of course, YouTube, we all know why YouTube is popular in Eurasia. You know, we got our bots all up and down YouTube, so we get that, right? And this little sliver right here in the North Africa, the Southern Sea, it's dominated by Facebook Gaming. All right, so I don't really need to break that down any further. You can see on the map what it is. You can see on the map what it is. Twitch is dominated by the West. YouTube Gaming is dominated by the East, and Facebook Gaming gets into the Southeast and North Africa. Okay. Now we're gonna fast forward from the gaming stuff. I know a lot of people don't watch me on game streaming, so we're just gonna fast forward that. Okay. So the top 10 streamers of the year. So these are all the top streamers combined. All of the top streamers are on Twitch, right? Even with the acquisition of, even with Dr. Disrespect, Dr. Lupo, Tim the Tatman, and again, these guys are big, but they fail the comparison to these people with their watch hours. XQC is just insane, right? So XQC, whatever, continues to lead the pack as the most watched streamer across leading Western live streaming platforms. While 272.9 million hours watched is an impressive stat on its own, it's worth noting that XQC streamed for a grand of 3,629 hours year. It's 29 hours last year. So he amassed 270 million hours of watch time in under 151 days. Is my camera out of focus? Let's see. Okay. CoVa, do you believe that Twitch is a good gaming platform based on the niche of platform? Yeah, Twitch is an excellent platform for gamers. Yeah, absolutely. If anything, you go to Twitch for to live stream video games. If anything, the bare minimum, right? It's an excellent platform for that. There's a community for all kinds of games. I promise you. I've watched a lot of people stream on Twitch. There's a community for everything. Okay? Twitch dominates the leaderboards among the top video game streamers, with all 10 of this year's top streamers broadcasting on Twitch. Non-English speaking creators continue to develop a major presence as video game streaming audiences grow globally. Okay, so Twitch is the place to be overall. Twitch has dominated the streaming hours from platforms. Top 10 content creator networks. We're not going to get into that. So, is this the end of the report? Because, yeah, that's the end of the report. All right. So, here's something I want to address too, right? Gaming gender gap. Okay. So about the gaming gender gap, as gaming increases in popularity in the cultural zeitgeist, more and more women are getting into gaming. While women represent about half of the global population, only 27% of the top 3,000 video game streamers on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook gaming are female. This number has decreased slightly from 2020, when 28% of the top creators were female. That's not even a notable decrease from 27 to 28%. While these numbers have increased over the years, female streamers are still not fully represented in the gaming community. A recent study finds that 72% of female esports fans believe that women are not represented well in the esports space. Twitch, YouTube gaming, and Facebook gaming are working to improve these statistics. However, more work still needs to be done to close the gender gap in gaming. So let's look at this chart right here. Really, okay, I might push my laptop gaming content over there to give it a try. I mean, look, definitely try it out, right? If you don't like it, you can try Facebook gaming, right? If you don't like it on YouTube gaming, Twitch, if you don't like it, if it's not your vibe, you can go ahead and try Facebook gaming too, right? You have options, man. The best thing that you should take away from this is that you have options, okay? So the top 5 female streamers of the year. Now this is an interesting list because these people are very interesting, to say the least. So the gap between top female and male streamers is continuing to close across all streamers. Valkyrae placed 63rd. Amaranth, which is as the e-girl bathtub streamer chick. Amaranth was the top female streamer of the year with her pole mic content. Yeah, like she does like the blowjobs on the mics too. Content, especially in the ASMR and pools, hot tubs, and beaches categories. Valkyrae, last year's #1, placed second with 8 million fewer hours watched than Amaranth. Last year, the top female streamer placed 63rd in the overall ranking. This year, Amaranth reached 46th. 2 of the top 5 female streamers use YouTube gaming. The other 3 are on Twitch. Valkyrae and Picora, which is a VTuber, Sad Dummy, Pokimane, and Amaranth, which are on Twitch. We got another chart for women in gaming. Our gaming audience is disproportionately skewed male. Live streaming top creator demographics, top 200 creators. 95% of the top 200 creators are male. 97 are female. Okay, 97 were male in 2020, 3% were female in 2020, 95% are male in 2021, 5% in 2021 for female. While gaming has been thought of as traditionally male-dominated space, more and more women and gender non-conforming people, see that's where their data gets fucked up right there, are active in the space. According to a YouGov poll, only 13% of women and 24% of men believe that video games do a good job of portraying women, and that's not the issue there. Stream Hatchet estimates that only 5% of the top 200 gaming influencers are female. While each platform While each platform has made efforts to combat misogyny and hate speech with policy changes, not about that. Throughout 2021, the distribution of female gaming creators across the top creators has only changed by 2 percentage points. The percentage of female influencers in the top 1,000 channels, while the gap between top female and male streamers can vary platform to platform, there is an immaterial difference between distribution of female streamers across the top Western streaming platforms. Twitch has updated its misconduct policy. YouTube has promoted Valkyrie across entertainment media, and Facebook Gaming has launched a series of female creator spotlights and virtual meetups to discuss issues in the industry. And then there's the monetize. So here's the thing, right? I wanna talk about this real quick before I get to the monetization. So everywhere you look, there's promotion of female content creators and streamers, and this is kind of an issue that people deal with in like tech YouTube, right? Tech YouTube, the big thing is there's not enough tech female creators. There's not enough tech female creators. The female creators, they feel inclined to say that there's not enough women in Mr. Beast channel. There's not enough women there. There's not enough women here. There's not enough women everywhere they go, right? And the problem is that when you force gender how can I say this? When you force gender representation, the people are going to speak eventually, right? The people are going to show you what they care about based solely on what they choose to watch, right? Now they got black female video game characters. They have lesbian, LGBT video game characters, female video game characters, non-binary female characters or non-binary characters that appear to be female in video games, in media, in cartoons, and anime. They have lesbian characters, lesbian couples. It's everywhere. But the problem is, it's there not because it's part of the story or it helps whatever media it's in. It's just there to be a part of representation. And because everything is meant just to be there because of representation, people choose not to watch it. Now, if we're not looking at it from a video game perspective, we're just looking at these streamers for a second. Live streaming is dominated by men, not because of patriarchy or misogyny, just for the simple fact there's just a lot of guys that like streaming. It's easy to find female streamers on Twitch. Yeah, I find a lot of female streamers on Twitch. I find a lot of female content creators on YouTube as well. I find a lot of female content creators on Instagram who have Twitch, on Twitter who have YouTube and Twitch. They're out there. But if I'm to look at this, if I'm to look at the top 200 creators, I see that the people still choose to watch male content creators. So if we look at the female content creators, right? If we actually like to look at their content and compare them to male content creators, like if you were to compare up and down that list of 100 creators, the top female creators, and compare them to the top male creators, what will you see? What would the difference be? Right? Would it be the content? Would it be the presentation on camera? How they speak to people on camera, their ability in games, right? Like, what is it that's causing people to simply not want to watch female creators en masse? It's either the creators or the people are just simply not interested in female creators. And again, if we're looking at this graph right here, I need to see data. If you're going to talk about the gaming gender gap, there simply needs to be a piece of data that shows male viewers versus female viewers, right? so that you could get a better understanding. Because if we look at the WNBA, for instance, right? If you look at the WNBA, for instance, the WNBA is a failed project, right? The WNBA is only operational. The WNBA operates as a loss every year. The only reason why it's able to operate is because the NBA is a billion-dollar industry, and the WNBA is just a project for the NBA. That's why they can afford to make it operate at a loss, because they just have it there for diversity. But it's not a functioning business, the WNBA. It's so much so not a functioning business that women don't like to watch the WNBA, right? The numbers are so bad because women just simply don't care. So if you look at women in gaming, you have to actually go all the way up here at this number right here. While women represent half of the global population, only 27% of the top 3,000 video game streamers on Twitch, YouTube, and gaming, all the gaming platforms, are female. Only the top 27% are female. You simply have to ask yourself, do women in mass really enjoy video game streams? Right? Like, you have to really try to understand why female creators are at the bottom of the list when it comes to top creators. Because it's not about, you see, when these people take a look at these issues, they go victim. They say it's misconduct policy on harassment and conduct that marginalizes users. That has nothing to do with people not wanting to watch women. YouTube promoting Valkyrie, and I've seen her ads. I haven't watched her content. Facebook Gaming launched a series of female content creator spotlights, virtual meetups. Where's the data? Right? Where's the data of the male viewers versus the female viewers? Right? There is no data. There is no singular data point that shows how many subscribers and viewers are male and how many subscribers and viewers are female, and then how many subscribers and viewers are non-binary, because the non-binary would hurt female. The non-binary percentage would hurt female creators more than it hurts male creators. Okay, that's just a fact, right? Just using your noodle. Right? Just think about it for a second. Right? Just think about it. Okay? Just think about it for a second. So, in closing about women in gaming, I think honestly you just have to look. Do people really want to see women in gaming? I mean, that's a good question. Like, representation matters, but do people care? I mean, people will play a game if the female character is a lead. Yeah. Right? They'll watch an anime if the female character is a lead. Yeah. They'll watch a movie if the female character is a lead and it makes sense. Right? And it's about story, not patriarchy, misogyny. Yeah, they'll watch it. But if you're looking at gaming and representation in gaming, do people care to see women in gaming? Point blank. That's a hard question. And that question is not going to get answered by addressing misogyny, patriarchy, all these. Like, that has nothing to do with solving your problem, right? So the gaming industry is always not like the gaming industry when media, social media focuses on identity. That's where there's failures. That's where there's always going to be failure. It's the same thing during Black History Month with all the black creators, the black people of color, whichever you want to call it. They don't think there's no representation. You can't find people, yada, 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 right? When you focus on identity, that's where you alienate viewers. And don't get it twisted thinking that you're not alienating women who simply just want to watch a stream. They don't want to hear about misogyny and patriarchy and how people aren't represented. They just want to watch the content too, right? So that's something to think about when it comes to women in gaming. I don't think this problem will ever get solved. I mean, we're looking at a 2% growth over 1 year. Like, we'll estimate 10 years. Like, where will the streaming, industry be in 10 years? Food for thought. What are Twitch streamers monetizing, right? So gaming creator economy economics. The gaming creator economy is mirroring the broader influencer marketing trend that 1% of influencers generate a disproportionate amount of revenue, right? So we got, I don't know any of these people here. Okay, I don't know those people. Anyway, in our analysis of the total publicly captured, this is Devin Nash. So he's this chief marketing officer of Novo. I don't know. I watched Devin Nash, link in the description box over his video that inspired the stream. I don't know what Novo is though. In our analysis of the total publicly captured Twitch subscriptions and bits, that's their donations like super chats and super stickers, the top 1.2% of influencers generate 15.83%. That's a lot. The top 1% generates 15% of the total estimated revenue, meaning the average mega tier influencer generates $841,000 per year. Okay, so we're going to look at the list. So out of 10,000 people that click the start streaming button, only 5 of them will make minimum wage. We see 5,000 to 2,500 viewer streams generating over 70% of Twitch's revenue, but they represent less than 0.001% of Twitch's total streams. It's more difficult to become a broadcaster than ever before. So streaming is harder. There's more competition, right? Streaming was easier when it wasn't, in a pandemic. Now it's harder, right? And again, I mean, that makes sense. So micro influencers are the concurrent viewership of 25 to 500. And I don't subscribe to any of these micro mega. It's just how they put their numbers. I don't tell people to call themselves micro. Like, you don't call yourself micro. That does more damage than you think. But we're not gonna get into that. Micro influencers account for 93% of Twitch streamers, yet generate 56% of total subscription and bits of revenue. So this is gonna focus a lot on Twitch, right? I'm just gonna break this down simply. On average, it takes 5 years for a Twitch streamer to reach mega tier. An overwhelming average revenue of 841,000. Okay. So an overwhelmingly majority of the content creators on Twitch are micro influencers, which average between 25 to 500 viewers, who have spent an average of 33 consecutive months streaming and have generated an annual average of 6K from subs and bits, right? So that's not a lot. If anything, that tells you to not put all your eggs in one basket on one platform for obvious reasons. You can monetize your content on the platform and off the platform, and that would benefit you to do so. So what they call a mid-tier creator, creator influencer is between 500 to 5K. A macro influencer is between 5K to 25K, and a mega is 25K plus. All right. So even if you generate between 5K to 25K as in concurrent viewership, you're still considered macro. Now look at the gap between macro and mega. That's pretty big. That shows you how wide the gap is between mega influencers and everybody else. Okay. Now, this is not to discourage you into not wanting to be a creator, not wanting to stream, and none of that. It's just to show you what the industry looks like, what the business of streaming looks like when you get to the top of the tippy top, right? So even when even with a person with 20K concurrent viewers, that's not the tippy top, right? The tippy top is like 25, 30K plus. And I haven't seen a lot of people on YouTube with 30K plus. I'll just be honest with you. 20,000, 22 with 30K? Oh my God, no. So in closing, founder of Pipeline, Stephen Ellis, consistency over a long period of time is the battle most aspiring creators lose. If you want to make this a career, you need to think in years, not months. You need to think in the long term. If you think in the short term, you're going to fail. right? If you think in the short term, you're gonna fail. So I want to come back to just the overall growth of the streaming industry. Okay. Now, my problem with these reports, right? And I'm gonna come here. Let's see here. Okay. I'm gonna come here for a second. So my problem, right? My problem with these reports is that they only really like cover like gaming. And the problem is that not everybody, there are a lot of people who stream, but they're not playing video games. And YouTube has more room to address this than Twitch, even though Twitch has done a great job. When we look at this particular number here, let me see, where we look at this particular number here that says that the Twitch platform has continued to develop massive audiences outside of gaming, and non-gaming categories accounted for 12% of the total Twitch hours watched, right? So YouTube is focusing. See, here's the thing right here, right? YouTube is focusing on competing with Twitch and Facebook gaming in the gaming category, which they should, right? They should. However, they also need to address and there's a Twitch streamer that Ludwig. Ludwig is like a variety streamer. YouTube needs to focus on the streamers who are not gaming creators, so that they can widen that gap between Twitch and Facebook gaming. So if you don't game, if you don't play video games, and you're looking at this data and you're wondering, how does this pertain to me and what I do, right? And I feel the same way. Like, what does this got to do with me? This shows you that YouTube is well, streaming in general is a growing form of media to entertain and inform the masses. And these social media companies are paying millions of dollars to get these people on their platforms streaming. Because if you're bringing in 200 million hours of watch time to their platform, that's advertising dollars going to the companies. And they want that. So streaming in 2020 changed the game for all sectors, all niches, types of content. It completely changed the game. And it's only going to get better. Streaming has brought in new levels of monetization that beats AdSense revenue on YouTube to an extent. The ability to stream and receive donations instantly on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook gaming is changing the game in ways that creators can monetize their content. And now if you're looking at this from the business perspective as a business owner, and then there's TikTok Live coming in from picking up the rear, you can personalize your brand by reaching your customers more efficiently through live stream content, through direct engagement on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. YouTube is the future. I mean, live streaming is the future. So there any thought or any notion that live streaming damaged something or changed something for the worse is nonsense. Because these companies are in an arms race to be the best of the best, or at least in an arms race to compete with Twitch, right? Twitch has had years to perfect the engagement, the community that's cultivated amongst live streamers on their platform, and it's a great community platform to grow through live streaming, right? It's great for that. The Twitch streamers on Twitter, they ride hard for each other, right? They're a great community. Similar to YouTube, similar to the YouTube community, a little bit different, but same, you know, same. So if you're looking at live streaming, right? And let's apply that to YouTube. Now, YouTube needs to change things algorithmically to how they, rank and categorize live streams. Right? YouTube needs to change that. But YouTube is investing heavily into live streaming. So when you're looking at these numbers here and then you're coming to YouTube and thinking YouTube is still only a platform for uploading content, no. YouTube is constantly growing into a platform to live stream content, especially gaming content. And it's only going to get better every year. Now, YouTube may face a little bit of stagnation because, as you can see with the numbers, they've taken a little dip back, and I can actually pull this up and show you right here. I'm not going to drop my thing. I'm just going to put it here. We're going to make it a little bit smaller. As you can see here, YouTube was suffering a slight decrease between Q3 and Q4 of 2021. So in some areas, YouTube is in the decline in some areas when it comes to live streaming gaming. But the YouTube gaming will always be there. It may not be as popular. They still may pay these people millions of dollars to do it. It just may not ever be able to compete with Facebook gaming and Twitch. And again, my stance is that in order for YouTube to compete with these streaming platforms, they need to focus on non-gaming live stream content. They need to hone in on non-gaming live stream content and hone in on that and cultivate the community. All the features that are important for live streaming that Twitch has, YouTube needs to incorporate that, not only for game live streaming content creators, but also live stream creators in general on the platform, and even give multiple categories for different live stream creators. Because on YouTube, it's just live. It's just whatever's live is just live. YouTube needs to categorize that better. But these numbers are still phenomenal. If you're looking at the perspective and wondering whether or not live streaming is going to see continued growth into 2022 into 2023. That's why I encourage all creators that I talk to incorporate live streaming some way, somehow. Whether it's StreamYard, Ecamm, OBS, Melon, hell, even Zoom. And I do think Zoom is the worst platform to live stream. I think it's horrible. I can't stand Zoom live streams. They look terrible. They just look horrible. Don't do it. Just use StreamYard. But I encourage a lot of creators to live stream because it's a growing industry. It's experiencing exponential growth on all platforms, and it's only going to continue to get better. The experience is going to get better. The technology is going to get better. A few years ago, you wouldn't even be able to consider streaming in 4K, all right? And now I stream in 4K on a regular, all right? That's just the tip of the iceberg, right? We're not even talking about 8K or 5K or 8K streaming, right? So all of these things are changing aspects of technology when it comes to live streaming. And I encourage all creators to invest their time in adding some form of live stream content to their rotation, whether it's on their main channel or their second channel or a backup channel or a burner channel. But live streaming is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. The money is there for you. The watch time, the hours are there for you. You just got to take it. So don't still tune in. Southern Boy Game, what's going on? I appreciate it, Southern Boy. I appreciate that. So don't ever think that live streaming is going away, or live streaming is ruined something or made something worse. Anything that live streaming touch, it simply makes better. It brings more viewership. It brings more watch hours to the channel, to the platforms, and to your content. Let me see if there's anything. Now, I skipped the gaming because I'm not going to get into which games people play. I personally don't care about that information. And not a lot of people I know watch me care about that as well. So there's some metrics. I want to take a look at these metrics too before I go. So hours watched. Total amount of the time that has been watched by all the viewers that have tuned in to specified channels and or platforms during the specified time frame. Platform wars, creator economy. This term refers to the economy built around content creator. Influencer tiers, a custom Steam hatchet methodology. Okay. So my problem again, right? I have a big problem with this data. Especially for this part of the report, the gender gap. I really want to see the viewership between men and women. Okay? That's what I want to see. Okay? Well, anyway, it looks like we're having more issues. I'm just gonna wrap it up here.
Girl, I see your face everywhere.
So until next time, I appreciate everyone that watched me.
Everything reminds me of you. I can't take no.
I had a lot of issues getting the stream done. You know, it is what it is. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this was informational. I hope this was beneficial to you in learning whether or not streaming is important in the future of live streaming. Live streaming is the future. Be a part of it. Throw your hat into the arena. Stream, StreamYard, OBS, Melon, Ecamm, Restream. Hell, and if you must, and I mean if you, at the very least, you can do it on Zoom. But until next time, my name is CoVa D Technician. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Till next time, thank you, goodbye, and good night.
Stop the clock and rewind. Go back to that moment in time when you say you want me for life. Was it all a lie? I gave my all to deserve ya, begging on my knees just to show ya you're the one I want and I love ya. No, 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 no lie. I miss your touch from your hands and your body. It hurts so much to think of you as someone else. Can't get enough when you're sweet talking to me. Now I'm talking sweet over myself, but your arms around me.